Hello everybody. Welcome to the next episode of My Dua Sen. With us here today is Temily.
Hello.
And Temily, can you please say your full name for us?
My name is Temily Tianmay, daughter of Jaya Gopan. My name is Temily Tianmay Jaya Gopan.
All right. To simplify things, we'll call her Tem.
Okay.
That's all right?
All right.
Good. Okay, we are here, folks, at a place in Bangsar Utama called Sri Ananda Bhavan. And the reason for that is because Temily here is Chindian. So, Temily, how does it feel being Chindian? What is being Chindian?
Well, there are people out there who don't know what Chindian is, so maybe we should define the term Chindian to start
Very
us
good,
off.
yes.
A Chindian person is usually a person who is half Chinese, half Indian, meaning one parent is Chinese and one parent is Indian.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for you, how does that work out?
How does that work out?
Which one is Chinese, which one's Indian?
Oh, my dad's Indian, my mom's Chinese.
Okay. And yes, what does it feel like being Chindian in an Indian restaurant?
Well, you know, in extreme kind of Indian places, I feel really Chinese. And in very Chinese places, like a Chinese wedding or something, I feel really Indian. But on a normal day, when I'm in a neutral situation, I feel neither.
Aiyo, then what are you?
I'm a human being.
Ah.
And I am my interest, I am my personality, I am my beliefs. I'm not my color and my parents' race. Like, that does not define who I am in any way at all.
Well, that's a statement for you. A statement of independence. Okay.
I mean, of course, there are great things about Indian culture and Chinese culture. I mean, I love Indian food, I love Chinese tea, I love all these things, but anyone can love them too. You don't have to be born into a family like that. Of course, you're exposed to different things by nature of your heritage, but I don't think that defines who you are. And by putting people into boxes, you know, we do that in order to understand people. You know, by saying a person is Chinese, it means this person does this, this, this. By saying a person is Malay, it means they don't drink, they don't eat pork. You know, you understand them better, you know how to interact with them without
It's a
offending
shorthand.
them. Exactly.
It's a shorthand. Okay.
Exactly. But it doesn't
Yes.
do justice.
So yes, well, Temily, you were saying that you feel very Chinese in an Indian restaurant and very Indian in a Chinese restaurant. So where do you feel at home, Temily?
At home, I feel at home.
At home, you feel at home?
Yeah, because, you know, I think my environment is molded in such a way that my race doesn't matter. In school, you know, the moment I step out of my home, I am forced to kind of define myself by race. You know, all the forms you have, there's always the race thing. And I know like some Chindian friends who are lain in the forms, and I am Indian because my father is Indian, and I have Chindian friends whose father is Chinese, so they are Chinese. But we all look the same, we all look Malay, but we're Chindian.
Right.
And like two of my best friends, one is Chindian, the other one is half Iranian, half Chinese.
Wow.
And we all look alike.
They're Malaysian.
They're all Malaysian.
Amazing. Wonderful.
And somehow we all get along really well. And I think it's the fact that we don't fit into a kind of normal definition of what you are.
So there is a Chindian community going on.
Or more like a mixed kids community
A
going
mixed kids
on.
community.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So, okay.
Yeah, you know, like in school, for example, you know, people always mistake me for being a Malay. And I'm always forced to kind of reiterate that I'm not. But then I'm a Malaysian and I love everybody. So it puts me in a situation where I'm forced to remind myself that I'm different and I will be treated differently and I have different rights and I have different future from all these people.
Right,
So it
that's
kind
a
of
good point.
pushes in your face that you're different and you don't
Right.
belong.
Okay, so
Like in school, for example, in secondary school, you know, kind of the Indians kind of hung out together, and I don't know if maybe language is a uniting factor, right? They all spoke Tamil, and I kind of speak a little bit, but I didn't really fit in. And then the Chinese would hang out together, and the Malays would hang out together, and I was kind of the nomad. All of them kind of accepted me, but all of them kind of didn't accept me at the same time. So
wow.
and I went to a Chinese school, so I guess because of language, I was able to kind of communicate better with the
okay.
Chinese group, but they all spoke Cantonese and I didn't. So then again,
Right. But you speak Mandarin. She
I
speaks
speak
Mandarin.
I speak Mandarin, yeah.
Yes. So you understand a bit of Tamil, you understand Tamil, you speak Mandarin, you speak Malay, you speak English.
And I speak Cantonese now after being in Hong
And
Kong
now
for
you
2
speak
years.
Cantonese.
Yeah.
Well, see, talent. And right, now you were going to tell me something about the kinds of things your Chindian friends get up to and the kind of trouble they get into.
Well, a friend of mine who was, well, okay, I've had two different situations. One of my friends is half Thai, half Indian.
Okay.
And so, okay, somehow all us mixed kids end up looking like Malays. So I'll give this example to show that how the definition of race is really arbitrary because you can't really define people based on their color.
That's right, and you can't really identify a people based on how they look and put a label to it because obviously you're not Malay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. A friend of mine, so he was going around, I think during Ramadan,
Okay.
and he was buying food. And you know
Right.
how sometimes the police will, if they suspect that you are eating when you
Right.
shouldn't be eating, they ask for your IC and things.
Right.
And so he got taken to the lockup for the day until his friend could come and vouch for him, saying that he's
So
not
he got
fasting.
locked up. So
yeah.
what did they do when he showed them his my card?
Well, he showed them his my card, but the police officer at the time kind of said, you have to come with me to the station anyway until a friend can come and vouch for you. Kind of, he didn't let
So
him
the
off.
my card had no effect on the policeman?
No, at the time.
Okay, that's quite
and a friend of
marvelous.
mine, so my best friend, the one who's half Iranian, half Chinese, her boyfriend is Malay. So during Ramadan, they went to a restaurant and he was sitting down, he was fasting. He was just sitting so that she could eat. And I think the police kind of gave him a hard time because he thought both of them were Malay
Uh-huh.
and that he was encouraging his girlfriend to eat in public, and that was
Wow.
a little...
Good grief. So, Temily, yes, you must have heard of, the Hannah Yeoh incident. So basically Hannah, who is the assemblywoman for Subang Jaya, had a kid with her husband
Congratulations!
who's Indian.
Okay.
You have an addition to the community now.
All right, Chindian community. We're going to give her a card that says she's Chindian. She can hang out with us.
So yes, but as we know, she tried to register her child as anak Malaysia, is that right? That,
Yeah.
And she was refused. And after that, she tried to leave the boxes empty and she was refused. And then she had to, pick a box. So eventually she picked the Chinese box. She and her husband picked the Chinese box. What box are you?
I'm in the Indian box, but
You're
I
in the
didn't
Indian
choose
box.
that. And my parents, I think, kind of had to choose Indian box because I guess conventionally you follow the race of your father.
Yes, and that kind of sparked up some debate there because...
Hurt egos, I'm sure.
Yes, I think there was some controversy. I think the Chinese and the Indians were fighting over... The Chinese and Indians were fighting over Hannah Yeoh's baby. That's really quite ridiculous. I mean, poor couple. Why, why can't they have a baby in peace?
Right.
Right? So, I don't know. What are your thoughts then? Did you... I wonder if your parents had the same issue when they...
Well, I think, first of all, I respect Hannah Yeoh and her husband for actually attempting to kind of cut this whole race issue out. We're all anak Malaysia and that's that, and leaving the box blank. If I were to have a kid in the future, I'd probably try the same thing. I think that's awesome. And what happens when Chindians marry someone of another race? Then what
Yes.
happens to them? And when mixed kids marry mixed kids, we're all one human family. We can't escape that fact. And scientifically, we all know we're one human species. And, kind of always think of the big picture. Now we're really struggling to kind of work on the whole one Malaysia thing. And after we achieve that, it's going to be one human family. And I think, we've got world courts, the UN and everything. We're already working on a global scale in so many things. Why is it that when it comes to race, we can't accept that there is no such thing?
So, who do you think ticked the box for Chinese? Let's just, settle the dispute.
Okay, I heard some sources say that it's the officer who ticked Chinese.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So they had no choice.
Yeah. Well, another thing that comes to mind when we talk about this whole race issue is your name. And so I have a Chinese name, and in my Chinese name, I'm Li.
Can you say your name for
My
the
name
benefit
is
of
Li Tianmay. Li Tianmay.
Li Tianmay. So it's Temily Tianmay.
Temily Tianmay. My parents didn't repeat the Li, but when I write my Chinese name, it's on my birth certificate. In Chinese characters, I have Li as my family name.
That's in your birth cert as well?
It's in my birth cert, the Chinese characters
excellent.
in my birth cert. So then,
utterly confusing, okay.
I meet Chinese people on the street, like friends and stuff, and they're like, well, how can you follow your mom's surname? Because traditionally you have to follow your father's surname.
Yes.
And because I don't have a Chinese father, why would I have a Chinese father's surname?
Right.
And it something that strikes me is that living now close to China, my friend who teaches in China has two students, they are a pair of twins,
Right.
And this Chinese couple decided that one kid will follow mom's surname and one kid will follow dad's surname
Oh,
in
excellent.
efforts to promote gender equality. I think this whole race thing also has to do with gender equality. If we accept men and women as equal, why is
Right.
it that you're forced to choose the man's race, the man's name, but then here we are promoting women's rights and everything, but this is very fundamental. That couple, as an equal couple, decided that this is our kids and we will decide.
Right, so we're barking up the wrong tree, huh?
Kind of, to an extent, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Remnants of our maso, like
Remnants of
pro-male society, I guess, of history. Let's put it that way. History.
Gotcha.